Hey, welcome back Design Squad. Welcome to another Design Tool Tuesday, where every week I'm sharing at least one design tool, a method, a free resource, a plugin, a typeface, something which actually benefits, let's say, my junior designers, my peer designers, design community as a whole. And today I want to share with you the Hypothesis Prioritization Canvas by Jeff Gothelf. He wrote quite a few good books, and most notable being Lean UX, let's say, which is, I think, a must-read for any designer whatsoever, or product person or techie, because it covers so many different essential activities as well as rationale to delivering best value for the end user as well as business. If you know of a Lean Canvas, there is a section in it for hypotheses, and hypotheses are essential for any opportunity whatsoever. You can't have opportunities or proceed with a discovery if you don't have well-written hypotheses or well thought out hypotheses. It could come from market opportunities, emerging technology, user feedback, analytical insights. All of those different bits combined merge into hypotheses, and let's say product people, designers alike, techie stakeholders should get together and discuss those hypotheses as one team. And so this prioritization canvas allows teams or individuals to quickly prioritize those ideas and those hypotheses. It's as simple as, let's say, defining a hypothesis like so. And I borrowed this template from Jeff, but I think it stands, and this is how you would form the hypotheses. And imagine that I, as a designer or as a product manager, just came up with several of those. And there is thousands of things you could be doing with your product or digital service. You could put all those bits in the list, let's say like so, and imagine that I ended up with 12 different hypotheses. Now, if which ones would generate the most bang for the buck is hard to tell before you test it. But even before that, and even then, it's essential to know if it's worth investing that minimal time. And so this prioritization canvas basically has two different axes. It's risk and perceived value. And perceived value is really important here because, before you test it, you're never 100% sure that it's going to return the value, let's say, your users seek or your business seek. But that's why we're doing this. But imagine if you would use this, where you would want your hypothesis to end up, or maybe I should rephrase it, the things you would want to focus on, the opportunities you would want to focus on would be either in first or a second quadrant. Let me explain why. So the first one is, the ones which you need to test. And, those hypotheses, let me just put a few of them. Let's say these are the hypotheses we identified, and based on discussions or data I have in place or feedback or qualitative insight, I just put those hypotheses there. Let's say I put other hypotheses there as well. And so let's say I just put all my hypotheses based on those axes. And the quadrants I would want to focus on, let's say, test, ship, and measure. These are the definite. So let's say the lowest risk, the lowest investment profile hypotheses are a no-brainer. You can go directly into discovery, ideations, prototyping, user testing, rolling it out. That's a no-brainer because it's low risk, high value. Why not? The testing is, a bit more questionable bits, which you might not be sure about because it has a higher risk profile, even if you know that in the end, it's been proven to return the best value for everyone involved. Maybe it requires bigger investment and it has to be more viable from a business standpoint. And the lowest quadrants, which is basically something you could steer away, like, no, thank you, is the don't test, usually don't build, which, you can assess it if it's low risk, let's say, but very low value. So it's, all those bells and whistles, which are maybe nice to have. Maybe they adds a little bit of delight to the end user, but it's maybe not very feasible, maybe not viable, maybe not even desirable at that point. Maybe it's just for you. And then the high risk and low value, it's a no-brainer. You just discard those immediately. And so imagine if you run a workshop using Lean UX Canvas as your overarching, maybe a week or so, or maybe a few days with your team. You discuss those different bits, maybe stakeholders input, validate, steer it one way or the other. You come up with a hypothesis. You use this as a last standpoint to prioritize, and after that you could run opportunity discoveries, design sprints perhaps, test out those ideas further. Maybe you go and distribute that teamwork to investigate and run separate discoveries for other teams. It all depends on organizational structure, but this is an amazing and tremendous tool to immediately assess it, and in very simple terms. The best tools are the simplest ones, That's a no-brainer which you can immediately apply. And as a design lead, as someone who's interested in, let's say, strategy, steering things and influencing things and running things, I find this to be very impactful because you can use this as a template, as a big poster printout, visually stamp different hypotheses and, let's say, facilitate or run discussions and shape the things to come. And so if you want to explore this further, go to Jeff Gothelf's blog. There is a tiny URL here, so check it out. As well as, if you like this video and you like Design Tool Tuesdays, give a like, subscribe, share this video with your teammates or anyone who would benefit from this tool or any other tool on this playlist. And on that note, until next time.